All right. What's going on, everybody? So we've been starting a 5K series, right? I talked about 6 key workouts to achieve a sub 22-minute 5K. That was my last video. This is a series that I started a while back, maybe a year and a half to 2 years ago, but now I've updated the workouts on the content so that you can see everything live on the screen. And it's easier for you to write things down, pause, and remember and whatnot instead of just me explaining things. So that's what I'm going to be doing next. And I'm going to be working my way all the way down to sub 14 minutes for 5K, 6 key workouts. And then I'm going to transition over to 10K, then half marathon and marathon, do the similar type of thing, 5 to 6 workouts for all those things. So if you're a coach, you definitely want to take notes, bring a pad and pen. If you're an athlete, same thing, bring a pad and pen. And make sure you subscribe to the channel. Please do that so you don't miss stuff like this. Because I'm going to be taking the content up a whole nother level now. And this is stuff that I've used with athletes over the past 2 decades as a coach with a lot of success. So I want to share them with you. You may see stuff like this, you may not have, but I definitely don't want you to miss out on the opportunity to enjoy this content. So, and with that, one thing, I'll point out one thing for 5K, training at a multi-pace system is an ideal situation. So if you're doing stuff at like mile pace, 3K pace, and even 10K pace or half marathon pace, acting as a tempo, the more well-rounded you will become and the more dangerous you're going to become or your athletes are going to become. So it's definitely a good idea to incorporate or consider incorporating some multi-pace, different types of things. So I'm going to give you 6 different types of workouts. You let me know what you think in the comments. And again, if you subscribe, let me know in the comments so I could personally thank you. I appreciate it. So let's get to it. We're going to start with 600 meter reps here. 8 to 9. And these are things you're building towards. These are the paces you're building towards. 8 to 9 by 600 meter efforts at 230 to 231 per rep. This is a 5K pace. 5K pace here is about 642, 643 per mile with a 200 meter jog recovery. Okay, after each rep. Good rhythm running for 5K before you progress to 800s and thousands and stuff. This is a good way to do it as well. Now we're transitioning over to tempo runs. You're building towards a 20-minute tempo at 715 to 720 per mile. Okay, it's about 30 seconds or a little bit more slower per mile than your 5K race pace, your goal 5K race pace. And if you don't know how to build towards a 20-minute tempo, I actually have a video that I put together how to build towards a 20 to 25-minute tempo and how to do it broken up into pieces until the point where you can do this consecutively all together. So I highly encourage you to take a look at that video. You'll see exactly how you especially if you don't incorporate tempo running in your training. It's a good idea to watch that video. So moving over now to building up a consistent long run. This is a common sense thing, but not everybody incorporates it. Building up a consistent long run every 7 to 14 days. The less experienced you are every 14 days, the more experienced you are every 7 days. And again, generally a rule of thumb, 20 to 30%. The lower your volume is, about 30% of your weekly volume. But once you get up to like, let's say 50 miles a week, that's when I do 10 to 12 miles for long run. 60 miles a week, even 40 miles a week, I won't exceed 10 miles. At 50 miles, I won't exceed 12. At 60 miles, I won't exceed 13 or 14, and so on. I also have a video on how to schedule mileage out for the week in a way that works for you, whether you're running 5 days or 6 days or 7 days. And some videos running even more than once per day. So take a look at those as well. I think you're going to find them highly informative. I've got almost 400 videos of content here for you, so I want you to take advantage of them. Next up is 4 sets of, 1,000 meter repeats, 5 to 6 times 1,000 meter efforts with a 230 recovery from 410 to 412 per rep. That's pretty much spot on 5K pace, goal pace. Building towards 6 reps or 5, building towards 230 recovery. And if you can get to the point where you recover well, you cut the recovery down to 2 minutes. And then it's another good staple workout to do as well. 1,000 meter efforts are a staple of 5K training, no matter where you're at, no matter who you are. So, and again, there's a couple different ways to progress. You can add volume, you can run them faster, or you can cut the recovery. It's completely up to you to decide as a coach what you think is most appropriate for your athletes. But obviously, race pace, if you can get to that point, you get race pace. And again, I give you the 600s. Now you're building towards the thousands here as well. And obviously, you can plug in 800s, depending on who you feel might be more appropriate for that as well. So moving on, we've got 3 sets of 800, 400, 400, 3 sets of broken mile. Okay, the 800s are going to be a 5K pace. The 400s are going to be a 3K pace. So it's a good pace variation workout. So the 800s, 320 to 321 per rep. You take a 2-minute recovery. Then the 400s are going to be at 96 to 97 per rep. A 136 to 137, which is 3K pace. Okay, you take a 2-minute recovery after the first 400 and then a 5-minute recovery after the last 400, and then you repeat for 3 sets. So 3 sets of broken mile. So the 800s again are at 5K pace. The 400s are at 3K pace. A good multi-pace workout. And lastly, this is kind of an abbreviated version, but you're building towards 5 to 6 sets, okay? Or 4 to 5 sets, excuse me. 4 to 5 sets of 800, 300, okay? The 800s being at 5K pace, the 300s being at 3K pace down to a mile pace. So again, 320 to 321, okay? Repeatedly. You take a 100-meter jog after the 800, and then you run a 368 to 69, or 108 to 109. You take a 400-meter jog after the 300, and then you repeat that. You're building towards 4 to 5 sets here of this workout. It's a good pace variation workout. So now you've seen you got stuff at 5K pace, mile pace, 3K pace. You have the tempo runs as well, which is at mostly half marathon pace. So you have a lot of different variations in here. And you could also incorporate threshold stuff too, which is kind of closer to 10K pace than it is half marathon pace. So about 10 seconds per mile faster on threshold stuff. So a short recovery. So you have a plethora of different workouts here, but I wanted to share these with you so that if you happen to not utilize them, feel free to incorporate them. If you have questions, reach out to me directly. blackbeltrunningcoach@gmail.com. That's my email address. If you have, any insight, if you want to talk about it, we can talk about it. If you need any insight into your training, I can help you in that area as well. That's the direct email to me. And I always respond back to people who email me and reach out to me. But hope you enjoy this. If you did, hit the thumbs up. And again, please share this with other runners. So have a great weekend, everybody. And I'll talk to you next time.